Hey Mark, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
So there was an article that you sent me, which is very, very interesting. And I actually, once I saw the article, I told you, oh, I actually signed that petition. There was a petition going around, a huge one
Mhm.
for landlords and I believe like paralegals, there's all kinds of different people signing this petition.
Yes.
So I'll bring up the article so we can talk about it.
Yeah. Should we give our viewers a little bit what we're I'll give you a little viewers what we're gonna cover in the article a bit. We're gonna cover some things with some landlords that are advocating for automatic evictions. We're gonna cover off some different provinces stuff, and there's a few other people that chimed in on the article too, some advocates for tenants and landlords. So this is gonna be a pretty interesting topic. I'm always pro landlord because I've seen so many uh issues and articles and over the years of owning investment properties, the way the system is today, it's wrong and it's broken. So I sympathize with a lot of these people today that own properties that are at 30, 40, 50, $60,000 in rent, and then they got to put another 40 into their properties. The system's wrong.
Yeah, and,
So
and I mean, the article starts off, landlords look to BC model, but tenant advocates say it's the wrong solution. So
yeah,
the article starts off on, of course, a horror story of, somebody that was waiting months and months. They're $24,000 in back rent. The
right.
property's totaled. Um,
And
for the
to that point too, there's where people just, it's just not the money, Diane, that's the problem. Let's keep that picture there. We'll talk. It's the emotional and the stress behind this as well. And that gentleman that you're referring to was saying that he had to pay the mortgage for 10 months.
yeah.
That's he's probably got his own property to cover off expenses. This is the problem. And then you return to this issues here. You're talking thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yep. So they said that in 2022 and 2023, the LTB received more than 37,000 L1 applications to evict tenants for non-payment, making up more than half of all the applications from landlords. That year, only 7% of hearings were scheduled within the target frame of 50 or 55 calendar days. Only 7%.
So 93% weren't within that target.
No, 93% were not.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good.
And they've been saying for like a year and a half that they put on more adjudicators and blah blah blah. But I remember when we had the article that said the 37,000 was actually 53,000.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They
Yes.
misrepresented the numbers.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So here it says more recent indicators shows hearing wait times are improving, with 73% scheduled within the target time during the second quarter of 2023, 2024. I don't know where they're getting those numbers because my
Yeah.
clients are getting them that fast.
Not even close. Not even close.
Not at all.
No, no.
So
And
there's this landlord, his last name, I think his last name is Seep.
yeah,
Um, Christopher Seep. He's the one that started the petition.
yeah,
And his petition advocates for a system similar to what's in place in BC.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
BC is already doing this successfully.
correct.
So explain how it works in BC.
Okay, so in BC, if the tenant is behind on rent, the landlord serves them with a 10-day notice to end the tenancy. The tenant then has 5 days to either pay or to apply to the landlord tenant board in a sense to dispute the action. If the tenant does neither of that, the landlord becomes successful, takes over the property, skips the whole hearing process. Imagine how fast evictions and bullshit stuff would speed up for that. It's massive. I think it's a great system, and we know the problems in the system today, and we know that the professional tenants are sitting there doing it, and there's time and time and time again because nothing gets done.
Yes.
So
Well,
problem right there. And no one should be Yes, Dan, if someone's having some financial problems and, we all go through some struggles once in a while, and I've had my properties and yes, they've gone, so you give them some time. but they're blatantly, there's just a lot of people out there today are blatantly just stop paying the rent because we got 7 or 8 months before we leave, so let's just coast.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like with the system. And, you know, the last article that I've read in communication, and it even talks here, the person that went through this says, God, I'm gonna fix the property up. I'm gonna try to recoup some of my losses. I'm never doing this again. 50 to 75 properties, whether it's apartment, house, detached, condo, whatever style, are coming off the market each month from landlords saying, I'm done. That's a lot of properties.
Well,
And
you know, Mark, it is a lot of properties, and it makes me laugh because I did a little video today on Ford and his housing bills and all this crap, and
yeah,
I mean, which are doing really nothing. But then you're getting rid of a whole bunch of people that
right,
were providing housing and people that couldn't buy,
right, right.
and now you chase them all right out of the market. They don't even want to be in it.
They don't. And there goes Bozo Freeland today, yesterday, but the budget. They're offering interest-free loans to people that want to put second suites in their house, up to $40,000 interest-free. That's the solution to the issue to get affordable housing. You think people are going to be lined up to do that? You got to be crazy. They're not lining up to do this. There's
No,
no lining
for
up today to
sure.
be a landlord. That's my point.
Well, the other thing is, Mark, give me an interest-free loan. You give me $40,000, interest-free or not. When I sell the house, I gotta give it back.
100%. You got to pay it back.
So think about this. So say I get $1,500 a month.
Mhm.
How many years till it's $40,000?
Oh, many. Right
Hold on, I'll figure it out.
out. Jeez.
It's 26 years before the rent pays that loan.
Yeah, yeah. And that's if everything goes good. That's never happening, right?
It's not happening.
It's not going to happen, right?
No.
And you know, to that point, and you know, we did a video the other day and I was astonished, and I've had lots of comments on it because I don't follow the rental market that much, and show rental properties for lease. But I was astonished. I told a lot of my friends, hey, I did a video on Barrie rental properties, and I couldn't believe the amount of rent that people are getting today. And so, and you know, we went through 300 listings, and then we went back and seen the solds for the month. 169 of them were leased out. Man, I'm astonished. And this is going to get worse before it gets better. Because, you know, that's that 100 and some 600 selling and turning over in 30 days. We got 2 months worth of rental supply right now. And this is the biggest time for people that are transitioning out of their, you know, they're not moving in the wintertime, they're moving in this time. This is the time to be doing these things in better weather. Wow, like that, we don't have enough listings. We do have a crisis, even though we look at the board and we see all kinds of listings. Well, until we looked at the lease properties, we do have a problem.
Yeah, we
It's
do.
only
Now,
gonna go.
okay, so on the other side of the coin is the advocates. So lawyer and tenant advocate Robert Patterson with the Tenant Resource and Advisory Center says the system may lead to speedy eviction, but it also can be taken advantage of by bad actors.
How's that? How would it be? How would it be by bad actors? If someone doesn't pay, they still are going through a process, right? The boards are still involved. So how do you get a bad actor that, so you're not paying your rent, Diane, that I'm gonna falsify documents like that? How would
Mark,
you, where's the bad actor?
you think they're not falsifying them now sometimes? My kid's gonna live in the property. Bullshit.
Well,
They're not.
I don't believe in that stuff too. Like, I don't
They,
believe,
you know it as well as I do. Landlords lie too.
no, I agree, but we're talking about non-payments, right? But,
That's right.
right, we're not talking about that, but to that point, yeah, there's a lot of bullshit stories of landlords doing that too to people, which is totally wrong. I don't advocate for that. But if someone is not paying their rent, and that's what this article is about, how can you say, well, they're lying and make this up and be a bad actor? You didn't pay, you need to leave.
Yeah.
Bottom
Well,
line.
he says he hears regularly from tenants who said their landlord lied about giving them notice before applying for an order of possession.
Ah,
Okay. I think whenever we talk about accelerating eviction timelines and make it easier to evict, we always have to keep in mind that the flip side of that is the tenants are more vulnerable in their homes. So, but my thing is,
Oh, I like this.
um,
Make sure you,
well, and the Toronto Tenant Advocate says it's important to have strong measures in place to ensure tenants are not illegally evicted.
I
When
agree.
it comes to landlords facing debt due to months of unpaid rent, Dent argues that's simply part of the risk of business.
Oh, okay, right, that the average Canadian is going to, and the average landlord. These aren't corporations owning these houses. There's the people like me and you that make a living like everybody else.
So
That
you
get,
know what this advocate says?
oh, I know what he says. I kind of boiled.
I have no sympathy for landlords right now in this rental market. I have no sympathy for investors that have to learn about investment risk, but I have a lot of sympathy for tenants.
Yeah. Well, that's where I don't have sympathy for the bad tenants. I have zero compassion for them. I don't. I feel bad for the ones that are, renting from slumlords and they're not getting their properties maintained and stuff like that, or being, wrongfully evicted through, like you said, oh, my son's moving in or I'm moving in. I agree. I feel bad for those people, but I have no respect for people not paying the rent. I don't.
No,
So
well, and you know what? I have no sympathy for investors that have to learn about investment risk.
yeah,
So
yeah,
what, but what kills me about that statement, it kind of really pisses me off too. Because if I didn't pay my mortgage for 3 months, the bank would come and take my fucking
I agree.
house.
I agree. I agree.
They would
I,
just come and take my house and that would be it.
I agree completely.
So what you're saying is that I have a risk as a homeowner, not an
Yep,
investor, just a homeowner, that if I don't pay my bill,
yep.
right? So that they're going to take my house. But a landlord, that's investment risk. Well, we have our own homes are investments, Mark,
Oh, 100%, 100%,
right?
100%. And, we've heard many stories and many comments from on the channel where people have lost 50 grand in rent, 30, 40 grand to repair the property. People sleeping in cars in Collingwood, with Second Beach area, because the tenants won't leave. We've heard it all. We've seen it all. Right. And that's where the system is broken. And that's why we're in the issue that we're in. And no one's eager to fix it. No politicians stepping up at a provincial level to fix this. The municipality mayors have talked about this issues and call a spade, says there's a problem out there. This needs to be fixed. You want to get more housing. We know how to get more housing. Start making the laws tougher for those people that don't pay. Investors would jump back into this game in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
They would. They would. If we had, you know, programs like they do in BC, damn right, people be back in this game tomorrow.
Well,
But
and the
no
other
one's
thing is,
jumping in.
it's like, what we've said it in many videos, and like that agent I told you today called about buying one of my clients' properties that he had listed that has tenants in it that he, was trying to get rid of.
Yeah,
Long story short, I said to him, listen, he's a small guy. He has a small company. He took out money of his principal residence to buy this investment.
yeah.
He doesn't have a lot of money,
Well,
and he
that's it.
can't afford to lose a lot of money. Like all of these people with these little legal duplexes, most of them own 1 to 2 properties. That's all.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
They can't afford to not be paid for a year.
Nope.
They
They
don't
all.
have that cash flow.
They don't. They
And
don't.
people, and he says, that investment risk, he has no, no sympathy for those kind of people. Well, those are the kind of people too, Mark, like us, who have no pension. We're going to
Yeah.
get $1,000 a bloody month to live on when we get at 65.
Mhm.
We're
Yeah.
going to have to, I can tell you already, I'm going to be working till the day I die because I can't live on $1,000 a month. I don't
No.
have a government pension.
No.
Did I
No.
choose this career? Yes. But in
Yeah.
my whole, it's not the career I've had my whole life. I've never had a pension in any career I've been in.
Yeah. 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 I know. And there's a lot of people that have, like I said, like yourselves, other people that have investment properties for that's their future. There's their pension plan.
That's their pension plan
That's
or
it.
their kids' college fund.
So to show disrespect to that group, that's, the small landlord is the backbone of these rental properties, right? We know hundreds of them
Yeah.
and help a lot of
So
people into them.
So this Christopher Skeep started his petition last month. He says there were about 3,000 signature added per day for the first few days. There are now more than 29,000. Seep
Yes.
says he sent the petition to all Ontario MPPs, encouraging landlords to speak directly with their local MPP. CBC News contacted the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing to ask if it is considering making any changes to Ontario laws, but did not hear back. Are you surprised at that?
Not at all. That's what I totally expected. Hey, if you like this information, give it a like, give it a share, and follow for more information on any of our videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I'm not surprised, right? No politician at provincial level MP, they're not doing anything about this. This is
No.
federal level, do nothing. This is going to keep going on and keep going on and keep going on, and nothing's ever going to happen. That's just, we already know that.
So he
No.
argues if landlords didn't need to worry about lengthy processes, it could improve the rental market for everyone.
Right, it would rent and prices would come down.
Yeah, he said, I wouldn't even worry about bank statements or pay stubs or identification and
Right.
so on. If I knew
Right.
that the tenant could be gone in 30 to 60 days because of non-payment, I believe that the great majority of housing providers would open their doors.
Damn right they would. Damn right they would.
And let me tell you, I've tried. I got a client a rental last month. It's
Yep.
harder to get a freaking rental property than a mortgage.
It is. I know.
They want their bank statements. They want their pay stubs. They
do.
want all kinds of credit checks. They want their last couple landlords. They want letters. They want notes. They want their bank statements 3 months showing that they
Yep.
paid their rent on the first of the month. They want over 700 credit scores. They want no animals, no little kids. Good
Yep.
fucking luck.
I know. We did one too, 2 weeks ago, and the same, and we assumed the tenant. Same thing. We didn't ask for 3 months. We want 1 full year of statements of the landlord's bank account that the money was directly deposited. We got it. Right?
Yep.
I want a full application of the tenant. They sent one over and it was missing a lot of information. No, I need more information because I want to present this to my client before making decisions. Then we had a meeting with the tenant before making decisions. So, and everything checked off, but we slowed down the process. If that was you've been dealing with that rental one for probably longer than a week. I was 3 or 4 days. You were longer than a week, I think, for this.
Oh, I was a long time.
You were a long time, right? So
Yeah.
people today
The thing is, Mark, like my client, they're good people. They've been renting for years and years and years.
Yeah.
The last house they were in was for 7 years.
Oh.
And she
Yeah.
was telling me, oh, well, since we have to move soon, I just booked the carpet cleaners
Yeah.
to clean the house before they leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I couldn't get anybody to take them.
Yeah. I know.
I finally did.
Everybody's scared though. That's the problem.
I tried to explain to them. The problem here is that the bad tenants ruin it for everybody else.
Right, they do.
They were great tenants, and there is great tenants out there.
100%.
But everybody is so afraid now.
Yep.
And they know that they're if they don't pay, it's going to be a flipping year.
100%.
They won't take anybody.
Take anybody. No, they won't take anybody. They're not taking that risk. So like that person said there that doesn't feel sorry for them. Yeah, no, he doesn't. So their basement apartment or their condos, they'll sit vacant or they'll put them up for sale. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Right.
So you don't have sympathy for the landlord. You don't care about the landlord. So now the landlord's being a dick.
That's it. So that's why people are paying for a 1-bedroom condo here in Barrie, 1950 to 2000. What? Wow. That's a lot of money. Right? So you can imagine, single people making 60, 65 grand a year. They're not surviving when
Well,
they're
Mark,
paying.
how about the poor? I've had a lot of clients, a poor little old lady, 75 years old, healthy, doesn't need to be in a home, gets $1,000 a month or whatever. How the hell how are they going to live?
Well, they're not. That's the problem, right? They better have done well in their lifetime and put money away or cash in some assets or did some smart investing. because it's tough to live on that kind of money.
Well, and you know as well as I do, you can't count on that little investment property to see you through it anymore, where everybody was. A lot of people were doing that.
Yeah, I'm right, they were. A lot of people made a lot of money doing it over the years and had some great success with it. I had some great success with it. You did too. But I would not want to be I would not want to be a landlord in 2024. That just wouldn't happen until this mess was cleaned up. And you see a lot of people, you know, where they can do it is maybe they do Airbnbs, but the municipalities are really getting strict on those too in certain areas. So
In
you
Innisfil,
know,
you can't do them anymore.
no, right? Like there's some issues. So, you know, it's getting tougher. It's getting tougher out there.
It is.
Well, I think we've covered that off. We covered off some pros and cons and we talked what's going on. So hey, your landlord out there, sign that petition and it all helps out.
Yep.
Okay, see you.
See ya.
Okay, bye.